Gamers! We love Pokemon, don't we, gamers? We love Pokemon. But do you know what I also love? I love Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's got its fair share of critics in the modern day. I'm not one of them. I think these games are fantastic. They were good returns to form, and after the disappointment, personally, of Sword and Shield, it was definitely the best way to win me back after Legends Arceus showed that a series could be good again. But the real question is, how do the Pokemon stack up? I am going to be the inspector for this evening, and I've got all 100 and something Pokemon introduced in Gen 9, and we're going to rank them today. There's some that I really love, and there are others I'm not the biggest fan of. Let's get started with the starters. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly. The best thing you want in a set of starters is the choice to be difficult, because like that's what the stars are. It's like, oh, which of the three do I choose? If there's one that stands out, that means as a set of starters, not really a good set of starters. So what I would say is that as a set of starters, I think Gen 9, besides from the absolute peak that is Gen 3, I think is the second best gen when it comes to as a set of starters. When I see all three of these starters, I'm like, I don't know which one to pick. I have a clear favorite, but they're all really, really good. And I think that it's a wonderful return to form, considering Gen 8, there was a clear standout for me personally in Score Bunny. So having three starters that are just like absolutely fantastic, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of all three of these, and it might seem crazy what I'm about to do, but I'm immediately putting all three of them in the S tier. I'm telling you, I love these starters. I absolutely adore these starters. I'm telling you that now. Except Quaxly. I am Quaxly gang. Welcome to the Quaxly. Welcome to the S plus peak gaming. I love Quaxly. I'm not jealous of his haircut. Quaxly supremacy. Any Quaxlers in the chat? I love Quaxly. Is genuinely my favorite starter Pokemon they've made in like a lot of gens. It's been so, I love Quaxly. Genuinely speaking, this little duck fucker has like wormed his way into my heart, and I don't know how. I don't know how he did it. I didn't know modern Pokemon could get me like that. But Quaxly is just a funny fella. I'm a big fan of Quackers. Sorry, I said Quackers. I shouldn't say the hard R. A lot of you guys are big fans of Weed Cat. A Weed Cat is fun. I'd put them both in S. I love Fuecoco as well. As for the middle forms, well, shockingly, by middle form standards, because middle forms tend to be a bit, you know, they're the teenage stage of Pokemon evolutions. But oddly enough, these ones aren't that bad. Like, what's it? Florigato? I really like Florigato. Florigato's got that cheeky little energy about him. He's definitely got that, like, cool thing, you know, that cool factor. He's that kid that you see, like, hanging out of the lockers when the bell rang 10 minutes ago, and the teacher's trying to get him into class, but he's like, I'm just too cool. I'm literally too cool for school. So, you know, I like Florigato. I like him a lot. I'll put him in A. I'll put him in A. Don't like him as much as the stars, but I'll put him in A. As for Crocolore's I just like the sombrero. I just like the cheeky little sombrero. Big fan of the sombrero. It's like an egg. It's got like an egg in there as well. Like, it looks like a sombrero, but like it's actually like a nest with an egg. Like, how clever is that? Huh? I just love it. Design-wise, Crocolore, by middle form standards, you're also pretty good, honestly. But as much as I love Quaxly, I'm gonna be honest, chat. The fall off from Quaxly to Quaxwell has to be studied. I'm not gonna lie, when I evolved my Quaxly to Quaxwell, I was kind of hoping that the final form would be like, you know what I mean? Like, I was really hoping. Quaxwell, I'm not gonna lie, this might seem harsh, but I was not a fan. I am not a fan of Quaxwell. The name is kind of cool. I like the name Quaxwell, but as a Pokemon, it's the legs, they throw me off so much. Is it the legs? It's just kind of stocky, isn't it? There's no like form factor to it. It just kind of looks like metal pipes. Like, I don't know, man. But you know who hasn't fallen off, though? All of these final forms. Good lord. Good lord, did they cook, chat? Firstly, Meowscarada. What a name. Honestly, like, you know the same part of me that, like, really liked Shadow the Hedgehog as a kid? That part of my brain is, like, tickled when I see, like, Meowscarada. It looks dark. It looks edgy. It looks cool. It has a really cool exclusive move in Flower Trick, I think is its exclusive move. It throws a rigged bouquet of flowers at the target. It never misses and always lands a critical hit. What a cool exclusive move as well. God, I love, yeah, Meowscarada. You can chill with your Quaxly in the S plus tier. Absolutely you can. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the final forms. I think they're a bit too over detailed. You think so? But you know, Minister, there's some cool in it, and he has like a cape behind him, and it's like, and then he does a Naruto run when he does his running animate. Come on, say you love Meowscarada. Ooh, and then afterwards we get to Skeledirge. Ooh, now When it comes to the 3 starters, final forms, I think this one is my least favorite. That's not to say Skeledirge isn't just really cool though. Firecroc, it's got like the kind of like Day of the Dead kind of vibe at it. Its Japanese name is called Loudbone. Which I didn't realize until like a week ago, which I think is really fun. And then his exclusive move is a Torch Song, which is just can snowball. It's very simple. It does damage, boosts your special attack. It can be very good for snowballing. And like in his attack animation when he does Torch Song, you know that little bird that was on the head like in Crocodile? It's on his nose now, and he sings into it like a micro. It's so. Oh, I'm telling you, when it comes to charm of these starters, the charm of the Gen 9 starters cannot go understated. And while it won't go into S+, along with Meowscarada, it happily chills in S. Happily chills in S. If the fall off of Quaxly to Quaxwell has to be studied, the absolute glow up from Quaxwell to Quaquaval, zesty dark. Well, his shiny form leaves a lot to be desired. It's just kind of a bit more pale. It's kind of albino. I'm not gonna lie, when I first evolved it, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was that good. The more I've played with this guy, his funny little running animation, his little 2-step he does when he's in battle, his exclusive move, just like, I think his one doesn't snowball as hard as Skeledirge's does, but it raises speed, which is pretty neat as well. I love the animation as well, as simple as it is. You can slay your way to the S+ tier for sure. So when it comes to the starters, good lord, Gen 9 knew what they were doing, but let's see what did they do with the rest. Let's do the Route 1 normal type fella in Lechonk and Oinkologne. So what do we think of? I remember Lechonk was like one of the first Pokemon announced. Oh, his shiny's pink? That's actually really cool. I like that. I never noticed that before. But what did you guys think of Lechonk when it first came out? What funny name is it? Lechonk. Lemmy, finding Lechonky Boy in Lagrasse. Notice I don't have any Pokeballs. The name feels like an old Rage comic from back in the day. Lechonk, my beloved, I love him. People only like it because of the name. Well, then again, people hate you because of your name, Big Daddy 69. What is this, like 2009, brother? You need a cooler name like Albert Mustard Hot Dog, brother. Come on, that's a 2024 name. Get your stats right, brother. Get your stats right. I'd eat it. No round of applause that. Can't eat him, okay? You can't eat him. I'm gonna be honest. As much of a meme as Lechonk is, as much of a silly pig as he is, it might seem crazy what I'm about to do, but I think he's just okay. I'm gonna be honest. I remember when the hype was happening for Lechonk. I just sat there and I was like, you know that Wojak, like the guy standing in the corner where everyone's partying and says, they don't know that I don't really care for Lechonk that much. That's me. Except instead of being a Wojak in the corner with one drink in the party, I've just left the party because I've realized I don't really want to ruin everyone's vibe if everyone likes Lechonk. So I'm just gonna go. And that's kind of how I feel about Lechonk. And Oinkologne doesn't really fare much better if you ask me. I do like the name. The names of Gen 9 definitely need to be studied. The naming guy went crazy with this, and I do like the shiny, but the design in and of itself, not really too interesting, if you ask me. I think its ability is quite interesting in that Cofagrigus has this where if you touch it, it changes your ability. So it's a good like ability reduction kind of ability, which is pretty nice. It's got thick fat as well for extra resistances, which a normal type does need. Does it have any does it have an exclusive move at all? I don't know if it does. No, it doesn't have any exclusive moves, unfortunately. Yeah, in terms of like looks wise, design wise, stat wise, does it have any like cool stats going for it? Let's have a look. But it's got your basic Route 1 normal type stats where some of them are decent. One's usually pretty impressive. That's kind of it. Yeah, I'm not really too big on these. I'm just gonna leave them. This evolution so bad. I don't think they're horrible. I just think they're not really that inspiring compared to some of what other Gen 9 Pokemon have. And then let's go on to what comes next. Let's go to Tarantula and Spidops. Oh, Tarantula. Good lord. The shiny guys, the shiny. They know what they're doing when it comes to shinies. They do look really nice. This shiny color is amazing. I would love to have a shiny Tarantula. In terms of like, what level does it evolve again? Actually, it was a level 15. That's not bad. But that shiny literally single-handedly like puts Tarantula on the map. It really does. Because other than that, it's your basic Route 1 bug. For the shiny, I'll leave it in B instead of in C. And as for its evolved form, again, naming-wise, as I've said, naming-wise, the name Spidops for like a Pokemon that like for what's it? I think it's based off a trapdoor spider. The name Spidops is just perfect. Again, the naming is amazing. The design as well what I really like. The shiny still looks kind of cool. Not as cool as Tarantula's, but I do really like this design. I think the reason why I wouldn't rank it any higher, let me zoom out a tiny bit, is like, look at those stats, man. And like, I'm not really much of a stats Andy, but even in a casual playthrough, good lord, these stats are not helping you. Its highest one is 92 in defense. So you're slow, not even that bulky, don't even have a lot of HP, and then when you do attack, what the hell do you have, bro? Oh, come on, man. And this exclusive move is really neat, Silt Trap. This is a really cool move. It's like a protecting move, but like if you make contact, it lowers speed. But I think with how slow it is, I don't think it's going to take advantage of any speed decreases that the opponent has. It's very unfortunate, honestly. Design-wise, name-wise, shiny-wise, they nailed this Pokemon. But the stats are just so underwhelming, and I have to leave UNC as well. This is not ordered, by the way. I'm just going to leave them as is. But I can't put you anything higher than that. I love Spilops. I had one of my named Timothy and bullied my friends with it with all the entry hazards. That's what Spilops was made for, and if it did that for you, fantastic. But if you're asking me, oof, Dan. And then we get into, oh man, hello gamers. Nimble, we get to another bug, another early route bug in Nimble, who's shiny I absolutely love as well, and low kicks. Have we had a grasshopper Pokemon? I guess we had a praying mantis Pokemon in Scyther. I don't know if we've had a grasshopper Pokemon. I love this little goober fella. Like him jumping away as well when you bump into him. He's a little scared. He gets eyes as well. He just looks like he's scared all the time. I like this a lot. Nimble's a little cool. He's a cool little fella. He's a goofy little goober, and you can join a Tarantula NB. Now, do you know who I really love? Oh, good lord. The glow up has to be studied. The shiny is really lame. Let's get that out of the way. But low kicks. Firstly, it has what's lock kicks? I usually pronounce it lock kicks because that just sounds cooler. But goddamn, it's called X-Leg in Japanese. Bug Dark as well. Cool type combination. Edgy design. It's got that Meowscarada energy. Like it's designed just edgy and cool. And then like when it attacks, it uses those springs on its back to like lock itself into place. It looks really cool. I love this Pokemon design-wise. It evolves at a relatively early level, so you can enjoy it. It learns Lunge, which lowers the Pokemon's attack stat. I don't know if it's not exclusive to this Pokemon, but very few Pokemon get access to this. What's it called? Lextremo? Yeah, the German name. Gambex? All of these, it's got a cool name in every region. And then what's it? It's also got what? A Tinted Lens, a fantastic ability as well. It basically nullifies its not very effective types, which is really nice. Low Kicks is a fun Pokemon. Lock kicks, low kicks. Whenever I go into replaying Scarlet, I've got to use lock kicks because I've always wanted. Yes, I'm upset I never used him in my regular playthrough. But when I replay, I'm definitely getting a lock kicks in my team. Fantastic Pokemon. And then we get into oh no, Pikachu clone. It's broken. Oh no, the hat's coming off, gamers. I'm sad. Oh, Travis, I'm so sorry. Travis, I'm so sorry. Now, when it comes to most Pikachu clones, I like most of them. Pawmi's not one of them. Pawmi's just not one of them. I'm sorry. The shiny looks kind of cool, but I just don't care. I don't care for Pawmi at all. And do you know what also makes Pawmi kind of lame? Like, its evolved form, it just feels like they just made it stand up and it's stretched out a bit. Like, I know evolved forms are supposed to be like slightly like more advanced forms, but like, I feel like this is one of those evolved forms where the change from one form to another just doesn't do enough for me. And then you get, look at this design. First, you just look at this design, and then look at that. There's not too much of a difference, is there? Like, I guess it's more frilly, it's got more hair, but like, at a distance, you could not tell me like what the difference between Pawmo and Pawmos is. Am I even getting that name right? Is it Pawmo? The second form? I don't even know. Yeah, and the name also doesn't help as well. Pawmo, Pawmots, Pawmi. I'm more like Pawmid, am I right? Hey. Yeah, I'm not big on it. Pawmi gets a C tier because it's kind of cute. These two, you're in the Quaxwell tier, I'm gonna be honest. I'm so sorry, Travis. I'm actually not sorry, these suck. If they got rid of the middle evo, it would have been better. I think, as you said, I'm just not a fan. I will give it a bit more points for its exclusive move is also pretty good. It gets Revival Blessing, which is a pretty fun move. It's basically a revive, an in-game revive, which if you're playing competitive battles, you don't get to revive a Pokemon, so you can just use this move as a revive, which is pretty funny. It's only got 1 PP as well. That's really neat. It broke the competitive scene for a bit. it. And it also gets another cool exclusive move called Double Shocks, which is similar to Burn Up. It's the electric type version of Burn Up. It does a lot of damage, but it completely gets rid of your electric typing, which is quite interesting. It basically just becomes a solo fighting type, which is also interesting as well. It does get a couple of cool moves to its name, and it does have an interesting evolution method, but none of these are enough to charm me over, and I'm just gonna leave it there. Poor me, poor mo, poor mo, poor mid. What comes after that? Oh, yes. Oh, gamers. We got Tandemouse. Travis watching the stream right now. How are you going to put poor mo, and D? But the literal mice are going to rank higher. Musty, this is rigged. This is rigged, Musty. This is rigged. I can't believe it. This is rigged, Musty. Tandemouse is just a little cute. Come on, guys. Tandemouse is a little cutie. These mice are a little cutie, okay? These mice are little cuties. I love them. They don't even look like they're Pokemon. They just look like dolls come to life. So they have this like kind of ghostly aura about them. I don't know what it is. I really like them. I really like them a lot. And then, what is it? They also have this cool move. I guess your population bomb. Like, what's it? A move that hits 1 to 10 times, by the way? There's not a single move in this entire series that hits 1 to 10 times. I think the most we've ever had is Beat Up, and that's if you have 6 Pokemon on your team. It hits 6 times. You can hit someone 10 times, bro. That's one hell of a population bomb indeed. But then when it also evolves into what's it? Mousehold, which is a really funny Pokemon as well. If you guys don't play Pokemon, there's like a version of this where like it's the 2 main mouse, the mum and dad, and then 2 kids. But there's also a version where there's an only child as well, which means good Lord knows what happened to the second kid. Like, did they just have one and they were like, fuck it, I've had enough. I've had enough of you, lad. I think people have made a lot of alternate variants of this. Oh yeah, like the people have made like loads of funny variants of Mouse, like Mouse Spoiled, where they have like 10 kids, for example. Oh, this is okay. Well, the mouse stick abuse. No, that's mean. Okay, that's mean. But yeah, people kind of went crazy with the mouse hold, so it's got a lot of charm to it. Tandemouse and mouse hold, these are funny. These are funny little goobers. I would have put Tandemouse and B, and I'll put mouse holding A. I like mouse hold a bit better. Mouse orphans, something like that. Yeah, but it's just the kids instead. What else do we have? We have Fido and Daxpun. I'd eat the shiny variant. I would eat the, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I would eat the Pokemon. Again, the name is really cute as well. It's adorable. I love Fido. But it's definitely an A tier banger. I was gonna call it by its classification, but it's literally just called the dog Pokemon. That helps a lot. This one looks cute as well. I like him. I like this little goofy fella. And his ability is quite fun as well. Well-baked body. This Pokemon receives no damage from fire type attacks, and it boosts its defense by 2 stages. I love it when like Pokemon get these like really fun, unique abilities that no one expected to have. I like it. I like this a lot. I like it when Pokemon does weird stuff with abilities like this. If I do another playthrough, I need to use one of these fellas at some point. I want to put him in A as well. I want to put you along with Fido. That's a much better name. What the hell? I know, right? I would have this in real life. I wouldn't be allowed to. I'd eat it. I'd eat the dog, guys. I would eat the dog. And then we get on to, oh man. We get to, oh, these little goofy little goobers. Smollet. Come on, guys. The name is Smollet. And then they shiny is just a black. Come on. Guys, come on. Give me some props here. Give me some. And I'm not saying this because I'm biased, because I had a Smoliv in my team. I saw a Smoliv in the wild. Goofy little name. This goofy, look at his little face. I'm like, oh, I have to take him in. I have to take him in. Put some olive. Hey! We can eat the dog, we're not eating the olive, okay? We're not eating the olive tie. Get out of here. Smoliv, he's just adorable. Grass normal is a very weird combination, but I think works more for it than it does hinder it. At least in my playthrough, I found that like the normal typing, like Hyper Voice for stab, it was really, really fun. Harvest was a really cool ability for it as well, because I can get my berry. If I use a citrus berry, and I have half a chance of getting it back. I had a lot of fun using Smoliv in my playthrough. It's called Dolive because it has 2 olives. Big fan of Dolive as well. Black olives on the top as well. Slightly darker shade for the shinies. I had a lot of fun with this. I felt like level 35 was a bit too long to evolve. I'm like, what the hell, man? By the time it got to like level 32, 33, it was getting like outclassed by a lot of Pokemon. But then Bolivar, bruv. He's just a treat. Like, I love his face. His face is just like, he don't care. He's just vibing. And I think in battle, like, he has his arms raised like this. So he's just chilling with his arms up. He's so chill. He's so vibe. He's so everything. And then, what's it? Grassy terrain upon attack as well. That ability served me quite well. I would switch between these 2 abilities depending on which fight I was in. I would use ability patches all the time on this fella. I would Hyper Voice, energy ball, Giga Drain leftovers as well with the grassy terrain if I wanted like a healing set. Where's Hugliv Musty? That's the secret evolved form later. That's what we get. I like all of these. This whole line is really cute to me. I'm putting Smoliv in S. I'm putting Doliv in S. I'm putting Arboliver in S. I'm putting them all in S, guys. I love this line. This line is just that. Maybe I'm a little biased because I used it in my team, but the type combination, the fun ability as well as in Seed Sower, it's just don't give a fuck attitude that he has. His eyes are just closed the whole time, brother. He don't care. He don't care about you. I love him. I love this little fella. Do you know who I also kind of have do you know who's also a little charming? Squawkabilly? Elvis Bird? What is going on here? Whose idea was this bird? Seriously. Whose idea was this fucking bird? Of all the like generic normal flying type birds, I did think it was a bit annoying that he was normal flying. I'm like, we've had enough normal flying types, okay? Come on, this is Pokemon in 2022, I think this came out. This is Pokemon in the modern day, all right? Normal flying types. Come on, brother. I do like the fact that like its different plumages have different abilities as well. It gets what, like either Intimidate, Hustle, or Sheer Force, or Intimidate, Hustle, Guts. So depending on its plumage, it gets a different hidden ability. So as a Pokemon, I don't really rate it too much. I don't think it gets any like cool exclusive moves neither. It just gets your usual bird type move nonsense. But like design-wise and name-wise, it has enough charm where it doesn't go into like the useless bottom tiers. But yeah, normal flying, doesn't evolve. You're never going to rank that high. You're never going to rank that high. I would have liked it if you evolved. If you evolved and maybe the hair became a bit more, But I think there are better flying types in the same region, better flying types as a whole. But the name Squawkabilly and the little hair, I have to give you some props for that. I have to give you at least some props because it is just kind of funny. Gamers, have you played Minecraft recently? We're doing some Minecraft. We got Knackley. I did bias alert. I did have one of these in my team, but I saw one of these little goofy. I had to catch one. Like I had to catch one. Like there's no way you see this and you're like, I'm just gonna ignore this. I saw this. I'm like, I have to have it in my team. I love the name as well. The name Knackley. If you guys have noticed, in all of its variants, it's Knackley, Knacklestack, and Garganical. It has the NaCl in the name at all points. NaCl, according to Jimmy Neutron. I learned this from Jimmy Neutron as a kid. NaCl is the chemical formula for salt. So when it's the rock salt Pokemon and it has NaCl in the name, I'm telling you, with the names in this gem, they cooked. But yeah, team bias alert. I did have one of these on my team, and he was just really fun to use as well. No status conditions and a half damage taken from ghost type moves. You can use like salt to like purify yourself against ghostly entities or something. To be honest, wasn't a fan of Knacklestack. I wasn't a fan of him. I wasn't a fan of him at all, and I was waiting for him to evolve to see if I'd like him again. It took till level 38 as well. He took a long ass time. But when he reached Garganical, I'm like, do you know what? I'm here for it. This looks like a variation of the stone golem in Minecraft. And not to mention, somebody said that his face over here kind of looks like Donkey Kong. It's like Donkey Kong inside a pyramid. You can kind of see it. Can you guys see it? It kind of looks like Donkey Kong inside a pyramid. And when someone told me that, I'm just like, yeah, I'm here for it. So I'll put Knackley in like A. Knacklestack, you can just chill in D. I'm gonna be honest, I really did not like that. But Garganical, easy yes. And not to mention, I didn't even mention its other cool factor to it as well. Its exclusive move as well. Salt Cure. What a unique move as well. These are Salt Cure as a target. It's like a trapping move, which generally aren't that good as a whole. Has low power, but steel and water type Pokemon are strongly affected as well. Just like, as a reference to Salt. Salt destroys metal and water with facts and logic. I think this exclusive move is really, really cool too. Yeah, absolutely. And since you're trapped as well, it stops them from fleeing, which is really neat too. I like it. I like it a lot. I like Garganical. What a funny little fella. Speaking about funny little fellas, who else have we got? We've got Charcadet. Oof. What do you guys think of Charcadet? Team bias alert. I also had one of these in my team. If you guys can guess, I just basically caught the first 6 Pokemon I got and then called it a day because I absolutely fell in love with every single Scarlet and Violet design. I love this game's designs. If someone's Pokemon designs fell off, I'm calling them a liar. Charcadet looks punchable. He kind of does. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of does. He's got a giant head for it. But like Charcadet is not really what you're here for, if I'm being honest. By doing some crazy chicanery with Charcadet, you can get on a Charcadet's older brothers. You can get either Armor Rouge or Ceruledge. Bias alert, I did get an Armor Rouge because I do have Pokemon Scarlet. I do think this guy looks kind of cool. The shinies are lame. I'm not even talking about the shiny. I just like the big ass armor. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this one. But you know who's also cool as well? They were just like, hey, let me just make this Pokemon cool. What is it with the edgy I'm just realizing. What is it with like really edgy Pokemon in this generation? What is happening right now? I'm just noticing now that I'm looking at all the Pokemon. They're just like, let's make the Pokemon purple and a ghost type. And it has like blades for arms. And then on top of that, its exclusive move, it learns Bitter Blade, a fire type, 90 power, 100% accuracy, training move? Yeah, even though I had Armor Rouge in my team and I might have a little bit of a bias towards him, Ceruledge, the S+, obviously, duh. Jesus Christ. I don't really have much feelings of Charcadet, so I'll leave him in C. Armor Rouge, again, I like him a lot. I'll put him in A there. But yeah, Ceruledge, one of the best Pokemon they've ever designed as far as I'm concerned. And he's just an edgy goober, isn't he? He's just an edgy little fella. I love him. And then we get on to, who's next? Ooh, Tadbulb. And Bellybolt. I do look at that smile. Look at that Pokemon in the face and tell him that you hate him, chat. Look at him. Tadbulb. I like the name as well. The Tadpole Pokemon. He's just a cute little guy. This is the kind of thing you want in a small form Pokemon. You kind of just want them to be cute little goobers. So if I stand under here, Eureka! Eureka, chat. I had a really cool idea. Wow. And then he evolves into Bellybolt. Just look at, there is no evil behind these eyes. There is no evil behind these eyes whatsoever. And then his ability as well, Electromorphosis. Again, I just love in this gen. They just gave so many Pokemon so many cool abilities. Electromorphosis, the Pokemon becomes charged when it takes damage, boosting the power of the next electrical move it uses. You know the move Charge, the move that you've probably just never used because setting up for a more powerful move the next turn just kind of telegraphs what you're going to do? No, instead if you get hit, which you're most likely to do since Bellybolt is quite on the slower side, your electric move is now stronger? For free? Free of charge? Especially coming off of how much special does he have? 103 special? It's not the highest thing, but that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage indeed. I think, Iono had one, and it nearly messed me up. Cool Pokemon. Got some really fun moves as well. It's got Zap Cannon. I always like it when a Pokemon gets Zap Cannon. I'm a big fan of that move. High risk, high rewards. Tadbulb, goofy little goober. You can chill out in B. Bellybolt, you can go to A, I would say. The googly eyes are fake. No, we love Bellybolt. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Bellybolt saved me in the final battle with Nemona. Hell yeah. Those are the stories we like to hear, a talking Pringle. I love to hear stories like that. I was really excited when I found out that Wattrel was like a electric flying type. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I think other than Zapdos, I don't think we have another electric flying type Pokemon in the series. So I was like, oh, I want to get this fella looks cool. You know, Wattrel, he looks like a goofy little fella up there. But then like, when he evolves, I'm just like, oh, is that it? Was that anyone else? We have Fanroads. Oh, Fanroads doesn't count. Thunderous. Oh, like non-legendary. Like we have Emolga. Emolga's another good one. Oh, like a non-legendary Pokemon. It's just basically Emolga. So Emolga and Killer Wattrel, really. Does this feel like a middle form to you guys? This feels like a middle form to me. It doesn't feel like a final form, honestly. Like, it's just really lame. Especially when you got, like, Yellow Oricorio. Even Yellow Oricorio looks cooler than this. I don't know, man. It just doesn't look like a cool final form to me, which I was a bit disappointed. Its abilities are really cool. It gets competitive as a hidden ability. Volt Absorb as well to completely, nullify electric damage. Wind Power. This Pokemon becomes charged when it's hit by a wind move. I don't think they're going to find much use for that. I think Volt Absorb's probably better. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, even naming wise, it's called Killer Wattrel. Like, that's begging for like Giga Wattrel, you know? Yeah, I think MX2 sums it up perfectly. It's the Raichu problem. The Raichu just felt like it needed another evolved form. And guess what? It was going to do before it got scrapped. And I think Killer Wattrel definitely needs a Giga Wattrel. I think it definitely needs one because as it stands, I think Wattrel's kind of cool. But Killer Wattrel, you can stay and see. I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay, brother. I'm okay. Do you know who I'm not okay with, though? Ooh, Mass Chief. I like this fella. He just looks like he has anxiety all the time, doesn't he? It looks like he wants to get up to some chicanery, but he's like, oh, I don't know, guys. Oh, man. He looks like that friend you have to convince to, like, get up to some chicanery. They're like, yeah, man, let's let's just knock on some doors and run away. It'd be really fun. It's like, I don't know about this, brother. I think we're gonna get caught. I don't know. My legs might seize up. Oh, jeez, Rick. Oh, jeez, man. Like, I think even his Pokedex entry says as much, I think. He always scowls in an attempt to make opponents take it seriously, but even crying children burst into laughter when they see Mass Chief's face. It tries, good laws, knows it tries, but it's not good. Even children will be like, "Oh, you silly little goose!" Like, shut up! I'm trying to be mean. I'm trying to be mean. But it just doesn't, and I like it a lot. Do you know what I also like a lot? Mabastiff. Now, design-wise, I don't think it's all that, but you guys know, if you guys have played Scarlet and Violet, you know the exact reason why anyone's going to rank this Pokemon highly. You know already. In French, it's called Dogrino, which is kind of cool. Its abilities are fun. It gets Stakeout, which I think only Feeble got beforehand. So it's nice that it has Stakeout. If a Pokemon switches out, it gets double damage. Guard Dog as well. I really like Guard Dog as well. Boost the Pokemon's attack stat if intimidated instead. Moves and items that force it to switch out also fail to work. Again, I like it when they have like really cool abilities that thematically work. Guard Dog is a really fun ability. Intimidate if you want something a bit more normal. I don't think it gets any exclusive moves. Oh no, hang on. Comeuppance? Use Retaliate with great force against the opponent that last inflicted damage on it. Damage that last. Oh, it's like revenge, I think. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it gets like a pretty cool move that might be exclusive to it. I don't know. Gumshoes gets Stakeout as well. Oh yeah, it's a rare ability. I think Feeble Gumshoes, I think it's pretty rare, so it's nice that it gets like kind of a rare ability along with Guard Dog, which thematically works. Mass Chief, he's adorable. He's going in B. And Mabastiff, you're gonna join the corners. It's like Metal Burst. Oh, Metal Burst. Okay, that's the other move I was thinking about. I like him. Okay, you know why I like him? The lore. Okay, it's the lore, guys. It's the lore. I like him because of the lore. Do you know who I also like because of the lore? My personal lore of having had him in my team, Shroodle. Now, I will be honest. I don't think Shroodle's all that. I don't really like him that much, I'm going to be honest. The main reason I got a Shroodle is because I knew it evolved into Grafaiai, who is probably design-wise one of my favorite Pokemon ever made. I just really like this idea of this like silly little graffiti monkey. Is just really, really fun to me. I'm a big fan. And then this ability as well, Doodle, where you can just copy the target's ability, but your teammate will also copy the ability too. I didn't find too many uses for this move, but I've always wanted to use it in like a really cool way. But yeah, Grafaiai, it's just Grafaiai, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Shroodle can like, you can stay down here. Grafaiai though, he's one of the brothers. He's part of the name, a monkey ball reference. I don't think it's a monkey ball reference. I think it's just a monkey reference. Crazy. I wish it got another evolution. It does feel like it could use another one, but I'm okay with this. I think Killer Wattrel feels like it could use one. I'm not a fan of it. Grafaiai feels like it might use another one. I'm okay with it. What comes after Grafaiai though? Oh, Bramblin. Oh man, I love this. Bramblin is like one of my favorite kinds of Pokemon because if there's one kind of Pokemon design I kind of like, it's those ones where like it gets all the anti-Pokemon fans reeling. I love Pokemon like this. People will literally look at me like, it's just a tumbleweed. What is this Pokemon? And then it's like, listen, do we want to go back to Gen 1, brother? Weren't there like 5 evolutionary lines in Gen 1 where they were like, hey, let's have a thing, and then let's make 3 of that thing. Insane stuff, right? The Pokemon designs are really uninspiring now is the skill issue of arguments. The reason I hate the phrase skill issue is because it kills any and all productive conversation you can have. And I hate the Pokemon designs are so uninspired now because you can point to any Pokemon gen and find some Pokemon designs that look kind of lackluster in your opinion. I think the argument just really sucks. And it's basically just a big tangent for me to say I think Bramblin is kind of cool. Grass Ghost. We've had a couple of Grass Ghost Pokemon in the series before in Gorgeist and Trevenant. Wind Rider is also a really cool ability as well. It takes no damage from wind moves. Again, a bit more niche because how often are you going to bump into a wind move, really? But I still think, again, I like it when they have thematic abilities. I think it's really fun. Its method of evolution as well, the walking 1,000 steps thing. It's like you have to make like a tumbleweed and just have it tumble around some more, and then it just evolves into a bigger tumbleweed with a big smiley on its face. I don't know how you can't like this. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how you can't like Bramblin and Brambleghast. It's not like amongst my favorites in this gen, but there's just something really stupidly charming about, let's make a tumbleweed Pokemon, and then when it evolves, let's just make it a bigger tumbleweed and then give it a goofy smiley face. I'm a big fan. Gorgeous shiny as well. Looks a bit more like decrepit as well, which fits into the ghost typing. If you ask someone, how do you evolve Bramblin? How do you evolve a tumbleweed? You just walk around with it, brother. Simple as that. After Bramblin, though, you get... Bro, honestly, I would love to bump into the person that says Gen 9 Pokemon, like, are uninspired design-wise. It's like Tentacle, but it walks. Brother, come on. First time I saw this little fella, just like, it was next to a tree, and I'm like, is that a tentacle? And it just turned around and ran.
Morning. Good day to you, sir. Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
I'm just... It's such a silly little Pokemon. And I think it's one of those things where I think Pokemon has been doing this for a while, but I think they definitely confirmed it with Gen 9. I think it's a type of evolution called, what's it, convergent evolution, where it's not like a evolutionary wise related to a Pokemon, but it's like got a related ancestor. So like, you know, Toedscool is obviously based off Tentacle, right? It's like they, at some point in the evolutionary timeline, they kind of evolved to just walk on land. And instead of being water poison, they were literally like, let's just be the complete opposite in ground grass. And I just think it just looks really silly. I just love the idea of a tentacle that instead of tentacles, it just has legs. And then its ability as well, really cool as well. I know it kind of stunts it competitively. It's like Mold Breaker, but you go slower, but for status moves. And I think that negative aspect kind of had to happen, otherwise it'd kind of be broken. But I just, as a whole, I just love this little goober. He's a little funny goober, and it seems like you guys all love him too. I love how the devs were like, we made a fast spawn one, let's make it move last. Yeah, that's basically what I feel like they designed the Pokemon and they realized, no. I don't know about you guys, but every time I see a Toedscool walk, I imagine it's doing the SpongeBob walk. You know that squeak that SpongeBob does? Every single time I see a Toedscool walk, I just imagine it doing that. And now that I've said that, it's going to do the same thing for you as well. I like Toedscool a lot. I like Toedscool. Toedscool is definitely an S tier. He's so goofy, and I love him. I love him a lot. But Toedscool, I like him too. I don't think he has the same cool factor for me as Toedscool, if I'm being honest. I think it's one of the rare instances where the evolved form I don't like as much as the pre-evolved form. Normally, when a Pokemon evolves, it like gains a bit more design-wise, and I love them. I think Toedscool is definitely cool. I like him a lot, but Toedscool like earned my heart. Got a lot of cool moves to it as well. Your standard grass ground type there. Splatoon type shiny. True. So when I put it a little lower, I don't think you guys are going to get too mad at me. I'll put it in A. Toedscool's S, but Toedscool, I'm going to put in A. For me, Toedscool, due to Tentacle being one of my favorites. I do like Tentacle, but I guess I don't like him as much as you. It doesn't run its worst. I do like its multiple legs. It just walks around on these multiple legs. It does look kind of gangly when it walks, which is quite funny, but I don't like it as much as Toedscool. I think Toedscool has a bit of that gooberish charm about it. Do you know who doesn't have a lot of gooberish charm, though? Oh, man. Oh, gamers. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, I guess the shiny looks kind of cool. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Cloth is S-tier dinner. Oh man, when people say, you know, Gen 9 had bad designs, I think they're probably pointing to Cloth. Mono rock type. The name is not as cool as some of the other names we had. Its ability is kind of cool. It gains like a, what's it, Shell Smash at half health? But I think with this defensive typing and not having the best kind of, as rock types don't have a lot of good special defense, you're probably not surviving a water type move. Oh man, lay off Cloth. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm not big on it. Does it even have any cool other moves? It doesn't even get any like cool exclusive move to win me over as well. I meant it in F tier for a reason, and it's for Cloth. It was for Glove, guys. The whole reason I thought of the F tier was for Glove. I have absolutely no feelings towards this Pokemon whatsoever. I actively dislike it. This was a waste of us. This could have been for a better Pokemon. I'm just not a fan. I'm absolutely just not. I'm a hater. There's no Glove haters on planet Earth. I am dead. Okay, I am dead. Even it being one of the 5 like big ass Pokemon you have to beat in like Arvin's journey wasn't enough to win me over. The crab based Pokemon design peaks with Kingler, and they've been downhill ever since. We need to move on because I'm gonna get angry. Urgh. Ooh, we got another cool. Hey. Capsikids. When you're in a cute goober competition and your opponent is Gen 9 first stage Pokemon. Another goofy goober of a Pokemon that I absolutely adore. It's a spicy little pepper. I love his one tooth. It looks like it has one tooth. You can see there. I like him. He's a cutie. He's a cutie. Simple B tier. But what I want to talk about is Scovillain. Again, the naming guy just keeps cooking. If you guys don't know, I think Scoville is the unit of measurement they use for spice. So if something is like high, like if it has like 1,000 Scoville, I think that's what they use, it is quite spicy. And then obviously like the lower the high, like that's the measurement they use. So they incorporated the measurement for spice, the unit of measurement in its name. Very clever. I'm a big fan of that. Also, grass fire? Chat, you can help me with this, but the first ever fire grass type, and for a fire, it makes so much more thematic sense, doesn't it? If you're going to have a fire grass type, I think a spicy pepper Pokemon, it was really cool. I think Gen 9 did a really good job of filling out some of those types that weren't done yet. I think Scovillain is the absolute poster child for that as well. Big fan. He gets moody as well, which is one of the dopiest abilities in the game, but he gets it, and I'm a big fan. Chlorophyll to help with its speed. I think its speed isn't too good, is it? Speed is okay, but not that great. So, Chlorophyll works better for it. Chlorophyll helps with both stabs. Oh my god, Chlorophyll Scovillain needs to be studied. Oh my god, maybe a UU threat maybe in the meta game, because it can take advantage of both Solar Beam and Fire Blast. Or Spicy Extract. What does this do actually? The user emits an incredibly spicy extract, sharply boosting the target's attack stat and harshly lowering the target's defense stat. Oh shit. What is that? This is chicanery. This is the kind of chicanerous moves I love in my series. You can sharply boost your attack, but harshly lower your defense. You're going all out attack if you use spicy extract. Fuck it, that's funny. That's funny as hell, boy. Other than that, it learns what, a bunch of moves that I probably thematically we should learn. Pretty nice, honestly. It's just really nice. Capsicum is also named after the chemical that makes pepper spicy. The more you know. The more you know. And yeah, shiny is also yellow. It's got a bit of yellow to reference the yellow pepper. Spicy extract only works on targets. Oh, it only works on targets? Oh, I thought it worked on you. Oh, that's a bit of a shame then. So even though it's exclusive move sounds kind of cool, not really too useful, but I like it nonetheless. I'll put him in A. I'll put Scovillain in there. You guys were saying Scovillain hate has to stop. Is this a Pokemon that gets hated on or not? I think it's cool. I really like it. I really like Capsikids. I really like Scovillain. People wanted another Evo. It's another one of those where I can see it, but I also think it's fine. In like Gen 10. Fuck it, that feels weird to say. If he gets another Evo, I'll be cool with it. 3 heads maybe, one with each pepper color. After we go to Scovillain, we get to Rabska and Relor. Shut the shiny, guys. The shiny. And I have to mention the shiny. Golden Bull. And again, it's one of those Pokemon that evolves by walking with it, which a dung beetle is just perfect for it. I love this Pokemon's design. It's such a cute... I like him. You gotta walk 1,000 steps to finally achieve your inner peace. It's not much of a battler at all, but I think you catch one and you just evolve it as quick as possible. But while you have it, it's just I just like this Pokemon. I remember walking around with one as I was trying to get it to evolve. It just looks really cool just walking around with it. I enjoyed the gimmick. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. This was another B tier Andy for sure. But what about when you evolve it though? He's the main star of the show. When you evolve it to a Rabska, it just becomes Zen. I love that. What a weird way to take this Pokemon. It could have evolved into like a really strong dung beetle. It could have evolved into like a flying dung beetle. No, it's achieved true Zen. It has rolled the ball and it's realized, was I rolling the ball or was the ball rolling me? You know? And it finally achieved Nirvana. Lame on the ability front. I'm not a big fan of its abilities. Kind of lame. Its deck centuries directly contrast each other, does it? Hang on. Its body that supports the ball barely moves, therefore it's thought its true body of the Pokemon is actually inside the ball. Ah. An infant sleeps inside the ball. Hey, hang on. Rabska rolls the ball smoothly with its legs to ensure the infant sleeps comfortably. These two deck entries kind of confirm that like the professor just kind of writes stuff about the Pokemon and just hopes they're right. I think this is one of the, because that's a theory that like I think my fiance kind of subscribes to, that yeah, like the dex entries, like it's just the professor kind of just guessing a lot of the time based on the limited experience they had with the Pokemon. They're just trying something, and I think this kind of backs that point up. I think both, what's it, Professor Toro and Sada both came to different conclusions when it came to this Pokemon. So that's kind of it. Alt universes maybe this one. The ball is the Rabscurb, and this one, maybe the ball is an egg. Whoever replaced Matt Pat, get on the game for it. I'll give him an A. I'll give him an A, for sure. After we've done that, though, we got, what's it, Flittle? And a Sparthra? Flittle's a little cute. It's normally, again, when you're in a cute goober competition and your opponent is Gen 9 Pokemon, Flittle's just a little, I like the name as well. It's a pretty little goober of a Pokemon, really. But then it evolves into Espathra. I really like Espathra. I like Espathra a lot. Ostrich, but I don't think we've had a lot of Ostrich Pokemon, have we? I don't think we've had a lot of those. So I'm a big fan of this one. I think Dodrio also counts as well. It just looks really fabulous. I think, what's it, the Psychic type gym leader has this? Fits her like fashionista kind of design. Shout out to Opportunist. Oh god. Yeah, this ability was crazy. I had one on my team, so team bias, guys. I'm gonna let you know now. And yeah, Opportunist was just evil. Opportunist is just an evil fucking ability to have. Speed boost? I didn't even know it gets speed boost. That's just evil. This Pokemon is and then its exclusive move, if you guys aren't aware, Lumina Crash. 80 power, by the way. 80 power. Harshly loads of special defense. You could just keep stacking Lumina Crashes until you crash into fucking everything. Yeah, this move goes crazy. I hate this thing in OU before it was banned. Yeah, I don't blame you. Because Lord knows I would have been one of the ones to use it. Spathra, I'll put him in A. I'll put him in A. Lumina Crash is another baller move name. Fuck it out, man. They really peaked with the names, didn't they, in this gen? Oh, who's next? Oh, is it the one? Is it the one that everyone likes to fangirl over? Oh my god! Oh man, is that you? Is this you guys? Is this you when you were a kid? You with your little wrestle? I like playing Pokemon, I'm a little baby. That's you when you were a kid. This is one of those ones where like it has a poor me, more naming convention, but I think it kind of works very well for it because it's like Tinker Tink, right? Which sounds kind of like frail and like timid, but then it evolves into Tinker Tough. It's like, yeah, I got a big hammer. I'm tough now. I'm a tough little goober. This is you as a teenager where you think you can take over the world, and then this is you as like an adult. You're like, yeah, bro, I got a giant hammer, motherfucker. I'm about to knock out some Corviknight with this bitch. This is one of those like 3-stage evos where it feels like it has a substantial jump each time, and I like that about it. I think a lot of the times the middle evo is usually just kind of like the weird teenage phase, but I kind of like how Tinkertuff is like, it's not a baby anymore, it's not scared anymore, it's embraced the life of the hammer, although it's still so small so the hammer looks like it's kind of bigger than it, so it's still not, it's very unwieldy, but like Tinkertuff just holds it with one hand. It's like, it's used to this now, it's a grown man, it knows how life goes, you know, or a grown woman, should I say, so they're all female. Women, we love women, Chad. We love women. Throws rocks into the sky with its hammer, aiming for flying Corviknight. This is one of the few instances where they like outright mentioned another Pokemon. It just kills the Corviknight for fun. I think this is actually, funny enough, this Pokemon is the reason why in the Paldea region we don't use Corviknight as like the flying taxis. Because if Corviknight were flying too much, the Tinkerton might just throw rocks at it and like send a person flying. I would be remiss if I did not mention Gigaton Hammer, which is just a really fun move. Stat-wise, could be a lot better, obviously. It's kind of like middling on the road. Special defense and speed are pretty solid, but I think that balances out just how much of an unreal type combination it has. Fairy Steel is a really good combination, and its move is also insane. Bro, Tinkerton is just, I can see why people love this Pokemon a lot. I never had one on my team personally, but it was tempting. Tinkerton can go there. I actually really like Tinkertuff a lot. Tinkertuff can go in A, and Tinkerton can join the squad in S. 100%. We love women, chat. Don't let it be known that Sir Musty loves women. Do you know who I don't love though? I'll give you this, Game Freak. I'll give you this. When I saw the name, I laughed. Okay, I laughed. But as a whole though, I'm not gonna lie. Rare Gen 9 L. This is just, in terms of convergent evolutions, I'm just not big on this, I'm gonna be honest. Wog Trio as well. Nah. No. Can I point something in particular about it? No. I just don't like it. Just no. I don't hate it, but stats-wise, it's basically just Dug Trio again. I wish they did a bit more with it. I wish they like had a bit more. There's not enough sauce. There's not enough sauce to this Pokemon, and I've never thought it was anything worth it. The name is funny though. Being able to call a Pokemon Wiglet and having that be a Pokemon name is just kind of funny, but it does not spark any joy otherwise. My bad, chat. My bad. Bombardier. What weird Pokemon. I think this is one of the first shinies I got. It does have a bit of an underwhelming shiny, unfortunately. Like, there's a pretty funny design for a bird Pokemon, I would say. Like, it carries like rocks in its beak and then uses that to like fling them. It's like an evil stork. That's why it's a dark type. It just flings shit at you. It's an evil stork. And conceptually, I think that's a very fascinating design for a Pokemon. Even its ability, its hidden ability specifically, emphasizes this as well. It basically gets Rocky Payload is an ability that gives it rock stab. So it's basically got like extra powerful rock type moves, and it learns some as well. It learns rock throw, rock slide, so it learns your standard rock type, rock tomb as well. It learns your standard rock type. I don't know if it learns any special rock type moves. It does learn sandstorm for some reason, I guess. I like Bombardier. I'm a big fan of Bombardier. Design wise, interesting design, interesting type combination, fun ability, good moves. I'm putting him in S. It's the stork from Yoshi's Island, but he's had enough. He's evil now. It's his evil cousin. It's his evil alter ego. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of thing, you know? This little goober, Finizen and Palafin. I like this Pokemon as a concept. I like it a lot. Its evolution method is really funny. Oh, I've got people watching me. It's time I become a hero. When it senses evil on the battlefield, it goes into hiding and then comes back as its hero form. It's literally Clark Kent and Superman as a Pokemon. There's something that's just really funny about that to me. Really clever, really charming. I love that. It's so cool. Yeah, as its ability, 0 to hero, it heeds the call to heroic action. How charming is that? Come on, even if you don't like the design, the fact that you have to like recall the Pokemon back, then send it out again for it to like become its hero form is just really funny. And it gets like what's it, Flip Turn, which basically works like U-turn. It attacks the Pokemon and recalls itself. So you can immediately send it out in battle, use Flip Turn to come back, and then send it back out again. And then also it gets another exclusive move in Jet Punch, high priority punching move that has 60 powers than the usual 40 that most speed moves have. Pretty cool in that regard. I'll put Finizen down here in B. But yeah, no, Palafin though. I'll put these two together, but hero form though, hero form. Definitely one of the good ones. Definitely one of the good ones. I love the hero form. I think the coolest fact is Finizen evolves at 38 because 1938 is the year Superman came out. That is actually a really fun fact. I want to put that in the video, but pretend I said that instead of you. That's what I'm going to do. Let's just make a car engine Pokemon. What's it going to be called? Again, another unique type combination as well. Steel Poison. I think we always wondered, how are they going to make a Steel Poison type? And yeah, let's make a car engine. Because it's made of metal. And it's carcinogenic. Its hidden ability is just kind of funny. It gains slow start. It's like, yeah, the engine's kind of like spluttering. It's like, oh man, you gotta already fly. You got like, come on, baby, you gotta turn on the engine. What a stupid hidden ability to have, but it's charming nonetheless. And then once you evolve, it becomes room again. You took it to the mechanic. You know, you put a catalytic converter on it, so it has a filter on it, which reduces super effective damage by 25%, and it has an overcoat as well. You know, so to protect the engine from any sort of, you know, the elements. Its abilities are enough to give it enough charm for me, and its type combination too. I think it gains the usual like mechanical steel type moves against like shift gear, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan. You fight a bunch of them. Team Star thought this Pokemon was so cool that they modified a bunch of them for the story. I'll put you in B. Revarvoom, I'll put him in. You know, I'm thinking A. I'm jumping in S. I like S. I'm putting him in S. I think S. No, but I'm going Arlo mode. I'm putting him in. I'm putting him in S. Gen 9 just has peak Pokemon designs, doesn't it? Fucking hell. Oh, brother. I know this is supposed to be kind of like the modern version of Koraidon and Miraidon. I don't really like the modern version of Koraidon and Miraidon. I mean, it's kind of cool seeing people like, you know, modify it to like put big handlebars on it. But I don't know, chat. It has a funny move. The user creates a substitute for itself using its own HP before switching places. It's a move that got fucking banned in competitive battling. Dragon normal typing is kind of cool. Leave you here, and I'll just leave you here. I wish they did the Gen 7 thing, Nebby thing, where Cyclizar and made the legendaries evolve into forms of this. That would have been kind of cool. I think story-wise, I think Cyclizar makes sense the way it is, but I think it would have been more satisfying for sure. Oh, it's Daniel in a gen of 2 Call of Daniels. You couldn't have said it better than that. Orthworm? I kind of like Orthworm. It's got a bit of goober energy about it. I like it. I like it a lot. But on top of that, it has a really fun ability as well. I remember the first time I popped into one of these, I tried to use a ground type move on it, and it immediately was like, nope, sorry, mate. Earth Eater. It's literally the Volt Absorb, but for ground type moves. Perfect for it as well. Pretty fun Pokemon. He's got a lot of goober energy about him. I don't like him as much as some Pokemon, but he's definitely one of the good ones. He's definitely one of the good ones. Do let it be known that I have been paid off by the Saul Goodman Mafia. 10-month membership. You better put Glimmora on S or S+, or else. I am being threatened with my life. Is it going to work, though? I do like Glimmet. I think Glimmet is a cool little fella. I would have got him in my team, but you get him, like, really late. I think you get him in, like, Alpha Nada or something like that. I think that's where you get him. There's another one of those Pokemon I would have had in my team because, like, Rock Poison. Again, unique type combination. Really cool. On contact, it sets up Toxic Spikes. And then Corrosion as well. It can poison anything. Brother, those are two amazing abilities. I love this. It's got, like, defensive moves. It's got Stealth Rock. It's got Sandstorm, Acid Spray to, like... And it's got, what's it? It's evolved form, Glimmora. I don't think there's anything else that's kind of funnier than just being able to set up a bunch of hazards and just explode. I think Glimmora is kind of cool for that. I do think Glimmora's stocks definitely go down a bit on the fact that the champion has one of these, and even though this Pokemon is very clearly meant to be a lead, she had it as a race. But when you rematch Geeta in the DLC, she does use that as a lead, as God intended. And I think you realize once she loses a lead, you're like, fuck, you cannot kill her Pokemon without setting up some sort of a hazardry nonsense. So as a lead, it ends up being really fucking crazy. So I think it almost makes you realize it's a good thing that she didn't use it as a lead in the champion team, because it might have been a bit too hard, actually. But I quite like Glimmora. Glimora's solid. Glimmet's got a little bit of that goober energy. I love him. Glimmora, I'll put in an A. I'm sorry, so I can't put in S. I'm gonna be honest. I think Geeta definitely kind of ruined some stocks for a little bit. It's definitely one of the good Pokemon. Greavard? What do you guys think of Greavard? How many dog Pokemon are in this region? And more than I'm realizing. A lot of dogs. Spain seems to love their dogs, eh? Greavard and Houndstone are like one of those Pokemon where, like, I want to like them. I think the Ghost Gym Leader did a lot of hard carrying with Greavard. I think MCG Rave, which is Greavard on like the mic as well, which I think was a very charming aspect to the Gym Leader's double battle. I think someone said, I don't think about Greavard at all. And I'm just like, yeah. Oh, Last Respects as well. Fine. Sorry, I realized, my bad. I wasn't familiar with your game. It starts off at 50 power, but I think for every dead teammate, it gets an extra 50 power, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if you have all 5 of your Pokemon, this is 250 power plus stab. 375 power move. Yeah, this move's insane. The reason I remember this move is because on my DLC team, I had a Basculegion that had Last Respects. And every single time I was down to my Basculegion, I would basically just instant win because it was too much. To the point where I had to stop using it. Better than I thought it was. I've convinced myself into it. I'll put them both for me. Guys, I praise myself for my ability to have really funny, strange takes. I'm gonna do the thing that everyone does with Flamigo, which is put it here and we'll call it a day. I'm gonna put it in D, not F, because it does have some cool abilities. I do like his abilities. His abilities are quite fun. Yeah, this is like, I think VR literally said it. This is one of the few times I agree with the argument. This is literally just a Flamingo. Yeah. I'm going to move on, chat. Thank you. I've not looked this up, so I don't know if anyone can help me. This is the convergent form of Wailmer, right? Because this Pokemon gives me a lot of Wailmer energy. Same with like Titan as well. I feel like this is the convergent, like ancestral evolution of like Wailmer. You know? Does that make sense? It's his own thing. In my headcanon, this is the convergent form. If Wailmer is the sea whale Pokemon, this is the land whale Pokemon, okay? My headcanon is correct, and all of you guys are wrong. Citoddle is kind of cool. I think he's all right. I think he's just simply okay. He's a little cute. He's definitely got that goober. The species left the ocean and began. Excuse me? I'm holding this whole stream hostage until all of you guys apologize. I'm holding you. I'm upset. I want an apology. Apology video on my desk right now. On my mic, because everything is falling. I'll put you in B. What's Titan? I like the name. Titan. Look at it shiny as well. Oh my god, it's shiny. But other than that, it's just like kind of like a. I don't think it gets much. I don't think it has much going for it. It has Slush Rush. Oh, and what kind of stats does it have? Yeah, it's just kind of maxing out on HP and nothing much else really. I think in terms of like battling, I don't think it has too much source going for it, you know. And it's a late game mon, so you don't really get to use it in your team too often. I mean, its abilities are kind of cool. It gets Stick Fat to reduce its fire weakness, Slush Rush for speed, Sheer Force for power. It's got some cool abilities to make it like work a bit more, but It being, if you're going to be a solo ice type, you got to like have a bit more sauce to you, you know? You just have to. You just kind of have to. I'll leave you in B, but like bottom of B, you're like bottom of B, lad. You're barely just creeped in. And the only reason you creeped in is because the shiny's kind of cool. I like the shiny. That's it, really. Other than that, Molten Veloza. God damn! Can you guys do like Barrascuda, but like really edgy? For some reason, it's also a psychic type. I didn't know just looking at it, to be honest. We all know why we're here, right, chat? We all know why we're here. To lay away. It boosts its attack, special attack, and speed by using its own HP. It basically it's belly drum, but insane for insane people. Because I think with its stats, there's no way it's even. But yeah, its defenses don't really leave much to the imagination. Most of his stats don't really leave much to the imagination, to be honest. I think it kind of needs that fillet away to be fast enough to do anything or strong enough to do much. Blue has an excellent regenerative capabilities. Oh, okay, that's neat. It sheds spare flesh from its body to boost its agility, then charges at its prey. So if you're in the ocean and you see one of these like shed its skin, you're dead. You're basically dead. It's like it's the polar bear of the sea is what I'm getting at. Veluza's all right. You're chill. You can go to B. These two funny little fellas, Tatsugiri and Dondozo. How do we make Whalmer but cool? No, sorry, Wailord but cool. And they'll just like, yeah, let's do like Dondozo. Tatsugiri and Dondozo kind of like work together in tandem. Commander is this Tatsugiri's ability. Tatsugiri will go inside Dondozo's mouth and be unable to be damaged from attacks. Dondozo can no longer switch out. Dondozo's stats raised by 2 stages. So this is secretly the commander of this giant vessel, and in double battles I think this shit is like really funny. Piss ass shiny. Well, we don't want to know what this shiny looks like, that's for sure. Individually they're both kind of mild. Did I say mild when I meant to say mid? But I think they're both A. Together they're both A. I think other than that I think they'd be C. Can I just do this and call it a day, chat? Can I just do this? No, not that, my bad. Can I just do that? I'm just going to leave this fella up here. And I think Primeape's design was kind of cool, but like I think status-wise, it was just kind of like a generic fighting type, you know, like it didn't really have too much going for it. Didn't really have any cool moves. Didn't really have any cool typing. Didn't have any cool stats. So Primeape was like prime candidate for another evolution. And good lord, it's Pokedex entry. When its anger rose beyond a critical point, this Pokemon gained power that is unfettered by the limits of its physical body. So it literally got so angry, it died, so it could transcend beyond this realm to a point of anger and power that the world could not know. This move increased in power by 50 every time this user's been hit by an attack from any opponent, including allies. This Pokemon could very quickly snowball, and it's just really funny. Its design is cool, its type combination is cool, its exclusive move is insane. Its shiny's a bit lame, admittedly, but the fact that its eyes are just pure red, there's no like pupils, it's just angry. It's just angry. It's so angry. It's so angry, I love it. Now guys, I have a confession to make. While I like Clodsire, whenever people say it's like the best thing ever made, or like people make it their whole personality, I kind of don't get. Hang on. Wait, let me finish. Come on. I like him. He's definitely got that goober energy that Gen 9 is known for. But like, when people say this is like the best thing ever made, again, I just feel like this is a conversation that I shouldn't be a part of. You know, it's like, again, I'm the Sojak in the corner when everyone's enjoying the party. I just shouldn't be here anymore. This party obviously isn't meant for me. This is the Clodsire, we love Clodsire group, and I meant to go to the party next door, which is we kind of just like Clodsire club. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to the 7-star raid battles, I think Clodsire is very amazing in terms of its bulk. If you're expecting me to put this in like amongst the goats up here, it might seem crazy what I'm about to say, but I think he's just good. He's just good. He's just good, guys. Let me move on before a sniper tracks my location. Let's go on to another evolution form. Farigiraf. Girafarig always needed an evolved form, and I think Farigiraf is good. I like its long neck. I like the fact that its tail and it's basically become one. You know, its tail and it has become one. Its ability is quite fun in that it uses a berry twice, which is pretty cool. Its other one is insane. No priority moves, which, considering how important priority moves are, that's an insane ability. It's got Twin Beam, I think, as its exclusive move, which is pretty cool. You know, nothing crazy, but it hits twice. First hit can break a substitute, second hit can do some proper damage, and I'll put Farigiraf in the A tier. I like Farigiraf a lot, actually. Gen 9 is like a lot more toned down than Gen 4, where they gave a lot of needed new evos. Yeah, I like how I was about to say that as well. I like how Gen 9 gave the Pokemon that I think most people would agree need evos, extra evos, and I'm a big fan of that in particular. Speaking about Pokemon that definitely need to do evolution, Dunsparce finally got an evolution to make it do Dunsparce. I'm gonna be honest, when I first found out do Dunsparce, like Dunsparce was to do Dunsparce, I did not like it because I'm like, we waited what, fucking 50 years, and this is what we got. We just got like an extra segment. But then the more I thought about it, I'm just like, that's just really funny. The idea that they went, oh, could we like maybe make this evolve into like a cool ass dragon, or maybe make it give it giant wings? They're just like, no, let's just give it an extra segment. Yeah, they committed to the bit, and I think it worked. I think it worked very well. I do love its move though, Hyper Drill. What a fun move! Like it completely destroys Protect. Hyper Drill is really fucking cool. It took a while for me to get the joke, but when I got it, I could not stop laughing, and it's gonna go in S. It's actually gonna go in S. I'm a big fan. Speaking about new evolutions, good lord, we got King Gambit. I saw a couple people say this one sucks. It looks like a final Evo. Like it makes Bishop look like he's just missing a form, you know? He's the guy in charge of the whole operation. Again, the naming convention just works perfectly. There's the pawns that are in the front line, and then there's the bishops that do all the hard work, and then there's the king. If the king falls, the whole kingdom falls, and I love it. Supreme Overlord. Jesus, I love this ability. When the Pokemon enters battle, its attack and special attack are boosted by 10% for each of its allies fallen. So if it's the last Pokemon you sent out, as it should be, because the king, you saved the king for last, just like in its chess inspirations. The king is the weakest in chess though. Yeah, but like in the end game, I actually know this because I have I've been a bit of I kind of got the hang of chess for a bit. I had a chess phase, a brief chess phase. In the end game, when most of the like crazy pieces are gone, and it's mainly the king and maybe a few pawns, maybe a rook or something, that's when the king comes very useful. That's when late game kings are fantastic in chess, and the late game King Gambit is perfect in Pokemon. Kowtow Cleave uses slashes at its target after kowtowing to make the target let its guard down. So yeah, it like submits to its opponent as if it's gonna surrender. Slashes you with this big old head. I love that. Again, thematically it works perfectly for a king. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say, but yeah, definitely yes. I love King Gambit. The King Gambit is like one of my favorite Pokemon ever made. I love it. Oh Tauros, my darling. Howdian Tauros. I think for a region set in Spain, to make the bull Pokemon, the one that gets a regional variant, perfect. I don't know what they could have done with it. But on top of that, they gave it like 3 different slight variations. The Aqua breed, the Blaze breed, and the Combat breed. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm a big fan of this. It's kind of a nice way to like differentiate the designs as well. This one has them all like braided up. This one has them like kind of loosey-goosey. And I guess hair as well. This one's pointed up, this one's pointed down. I like it. I like Tauros a lot. Design-wise, I think it looks really clever, and it's black as well. You can't go wrong with black. You just can't go wrong with black, can you? Is there a difference in the shinies? What's happening here? The black fur is grey. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's kind of lame. It still doesn't stop me from liking Tauros. I think it's one of those. I think it's cool. It definitely feels like it's one of those Pokemon that adds quite a bit to the lore. Like it feels like if you went to Paldea, you would go to like a bullfighting ring and see someone like trying to ole fighting combat Tauros. It seems like something that you'd see. I quite like it. Guys, do we love guys? What do you think of Pooper? You can't call it. Hey, you can't call him that. That's mean. I think his Pokedex entries was literally just like it kind of got bullied into like going on land because the regular Wooper kind of giga chatted it. Literally, hello. After losing his territorial struggle, Wooper began living on land. The Pokemon changed over time, developing a poisonous film. You guys like the soy. How do you guys feel about that? Its crossbones are kind of cool. Oh, it does kind of look like crossbones, doesn't it? Like indicate that it's like poisonous. It's pretty cool. I like that. I like it, but I don't love it as much as everyone else seems to. So I'm just going to quickly move on before a sniper traces my look. Let's go on to those paradoxes. I might have had Scarlet, so I might have a Scarlet bias. A lot of the future forms are just kind of like... I mean, I guess you're all iron, I suppose. I much prefer like the more prehistoric looking. They just look so... I feel like there's more you can do with the designs of like prehistoric Pokemon than you can with like futuristic Pokemon. I think they all kind of have to be like chrome because everything's chrome in the future. So they kind of have to be chrome. They'll kind of have this like robotic kind of like look to them. So they kind of all uniform in a way, which kind of makes them a bit lamer. Typing-wise is where a lot of them are interesting. Like having a variation of Tyranitar that's rock electric is quite fun. Quark Drive is a really fun ability as well that boosts like their, I think it boosts their best stat if I'm not mistaken. I think the electric terrain boost kind of like gives a more thematic sense because, you know, the future everything's electrified. So I quite like how these guys like need weather, a more natural weather because they're old, they're prehistoric. Thematically, I think a lot, both of the Scarlet and Violet paradoxes make perfect sense. Great task, I'll slap in A. Iron Treads, you can just go and see if I'm being honest. I'm not a big fan. And then we've got Flutter Mane. I love Flutter Mane a lot. I'm putting him in S. Having a Mischievous that's just kind of like more mischievous is just kind of fun to me. I really like Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane is really cool. Slitherwing though, I think he's okay. I'll put him in B. He looks coolish, but ironically enough, I think Slitherwing is one of the few ones where I actually prefer this one. Strange, I know. I actually think Iron Moth looks kind of cooler. Pointier wings kind of just looks way better for it. And like Fire Poison is a pretty unique-ish type combination. Iron Jugulus, I'm just going to put this down here, guys. Actually, I'm putting him in F. Maximum Slander. Not only is your name super... What the fuck even is a Jugulus, bro? You take like Hydreigon, who's like already a really cool looking Pokemon. And just like make him look like low poly PS1 slot. What is it? And then he's dark flying as well. Your name sucks. Your type combination sucks. Yeah, this is just a rare Gen 9L. It means neck. So what? So literally, this Pokemon's called Iron Neck. Iron Neck. You couldn't have called it like Iron Wings or like Iron Tank as a reference to the fact that Hydreigon used to have a tank design in his beta sprite. You call it Iron Neck. Go home. Prehistoric Jigglypuff. I'll put him in there. Brute Bonnet's quite funny. He looks like a Pokeball, but he don't care if you see him, bro. You don't care. In fact, he's probably coming after you. He doesn't even camouflage to hide from you. Another A tier one. Not quite enough for S, like Flutter Mane, but I quite like him. I don't know how alone I am in Sandy Shocks. The fact that it's like a Magneton, but with like longer legs, guy, there's no way this isn't funny. And he's got hair as well, which I think is supposed to be like iron filings on like attached to his magnets. But it just looks like he has like old-timey hair on his like magnets. He has just like long legs. The type combination is really cool in electric ground. A lot of electric ground types too. I love Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is really sharp. I'm gonna put him in S+ actually, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The name is funny. The design looks funny. The type combination is really cool. I love the yellow eyes as well as opposed to the white eyes of Magneton. He's definitely like one of the rare S+ Pokemon. I love Sandy Shocks. Iron Bundle is another one that has a weird name. I like him, just to clarify. But naming wise, why is he called Iron Bundle? I do like the idea of Delibird. Instead of like having like a Santa bag, it has like just a water bag or whatever that is. I never liked Iron Bundle as a name. But as a Pokemon, he's definitely S. I think the robotic design really works for Delibird, I think. I don't know what it is exactly, but I really like him. Guys, how many raids have been ruined by people bringing Iron Hands just everywhere? 10% of my raids have been ruined. Not a lot, but like enough to make me go, you know? As much as I like basing one off of Hariyama and his giant hands, not the biggest, again, I think just Violet as a whole, the future forms just don't look as good. I am definitely an Iron Hands Andy, and I'll put him in A. I do kind of like him, but again, I think he's just let down by the fact that he's a future form and none of them are going to be as good as they could be. This might be some fighting words, guys. When you have a Pokemon as cool as Tyranitar, I don't think a future form would ever look as cool as Tyranitar. Does that make sense? I don't know. He kind of goes to the Iron Tread school of like, The pseudo-legendary. Oh, this will be a good debate. What do you guys think of the pseudo-legendary in this game? Now, team bias, I did have one on my team, although most gens I tend to have a pseudo-legendary in my team. Look at that artwork up here as well. He's definitely got goober energy. So when I put him in like B with the other goobers, by middle form standards, he looks really cool, didn't he? He looks really cool. I like Artibax a lot. Definitely like a A tier contender. Most middle forms look like shit, but this one looks really cool.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
I will admit, his design isn't as cool as it could be. I'm gonna be honest. But Dragonite type. What other Pokemon could they have done for a Dragonite type? The name Baxcalibur as well. Come on. And then its move as well, Glaive Rush. I don't know if you guys have seen the animation for this, but this animation just looks so stupid. I love it. And I like his ability as well. Thermal Exchange, boosts attack stat when hit by a fire-type move. This Pokemon cannot be banned. It's a bit annoying that it doesn't have a fire-type immunity. I think a Thermal Exchange would have been really good. I think you maybe could have removed the not burning aspects. And then, yeah, just added immune to fire type moves, plus attack stat goes up when hit by a fire type move. I think he could have done that and it would have been better. He looks retired. He doesn't have the same dog in him as a lot of the other pseudo legendaries have. But hey, team bias nonetheless. I think he's A at least. I think he's got a really cool type combination, really cool signature move. I think anything less than A is like a bit eyebrow raising, I'll say. So far, let's zoom out a bit. This is what we're looking like so far. If you want a bit of a zoom out as to the whole tier list. Again, a lot of them up here. So good on Gen 9 for having a lot of good Pokemon. With the other gens, I might not be so generous. But with this one, I really love a lot of the Pokemon in this gen. So let's finish up by doing Gimme-Ghoul. The Evo method is fucking insane. And Gimme-Ghoul himself, I like his design. His design's kind of fun. It's just a shame he's kind of unusable in battle. I don't know if you guys know, but he doesn't learn anything. I'm gonna keep him in B because I do like the design. I think the design is quite charming. I like both the designs, the chest one and him just like having to lug a coin around. I like his design. It's just a shame that you can't use him, you know? He exists literally just to evolve to Goldengo, which Goldengo, good lord, the 1000th Pokemon they ever made. And good lord, they cook with this one. Firstly, let's get this out there. Steel Ghost. Relatively unique-ish type combination. I know Aegislash has it. Some other Pokemon might have it too, so it's not entirely unique. I mean, at least your reward for doing this is a Pokemon with an insane type combination, an insane ability, full immunity to all status moves. Not just status problems, by the way. Status moves. Someone tries to hit you with a Screech? No. Someone tries to hit you with a Will-O-Wisp? No. Someone tries to hit you with fucking Imprison? No. And for the 1000, why did they make the shiny so lame? Yeah, it's just lame, isn't it? It's unfortunate. What's it called again? Make It Rain. 120 power, 100 accurate steel type move by throwing a giant mass of coins. It also lowers the user's special attacks. Yeah, you can't use it repeatedly. It doesn't get lower power, but like, you know, off the rip, it's a very strong, very accurate move to get. And it works like Payday as well. You get some money after the battle, which is pretty neat. In the overworld, he kind of rides on a surfboard. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but in his overworld, he just rides on a surfboard, which is just really, really charming. Goldengo, I don't think he has enough for me personally where he goes into S+, but definitely yes. Definitely yes. I love Goldengo. He's a funny little fella. And then we get into the Treasures of Ruin, I think they're called. I think lore-wise, these are probably the best set of legendaries we've ever had. I just love the lore that, in the real world, it was called the Silk Road, like the road that led Europe to like all the way to China. So I think that's kind of the lore in this game, that like someone came all the way from the far east in the Pokemon world to like hand over the treasures to the Chaldean king. And then slowly but surely, these treasures ended up becoming imbued with the power of like greed and corruption from like the royal family and all that. And eventually, they manifested in the form of these Pokemon. So like there was the presents that like the people from the Far East gave the king were like a set of tablets, I think like a sword or something, an ancient bowl, and I think some beads. So all of them became corrupted and took the form of a Pokemon. So I think as a lore-wise, I absolutely adore these legendaries. I think they're fantastic. I think Paldea did a fantastic job with that. I love the way that you learn about it via your history teacher as well. I hope, this is my testament to Game Freak, I hope you make more like interesting lore-based legendaries. I love it when legendaries have cool lore like that. I do wish their method of obtaining them was a bit more interesting than just finding these random swords in the ground. I did think that was kind of lame, but I think they do make up for it by having a banger battle theme as well. I love it. This theme is easily one of the best in the game. And as I said, lore-wise, battle-wise, I love all of these. But in terms of design, I think Wo-Chien, as most people have said, is the weakest of the four. I think his shiny's kind of cool. I think his regular form, I do like this snail, the tablets kind of spiral around to like a snail like shell kind of thing. Grass Dark is a cool type combination. I think it's pretty obvious which one I like the most. The one with the cool swords for teeth. You know, I like that you can see like the one tooth on the left there. This is the handle where you'd hold the sword, and this is the handle where you like the front of the sword, but they become iced over into points. The design, they cooked with the design. It's so cool. I love that so much. Its shiny looks kind of weird. It's like dirty ice, I suppose. Tinglu, I kind of like Tinglu. It has a bit of charm to it. It looks kind of goofy in a weird way, but it's charmed me over, you know? It's charmed me over in a way. And then Chi-Yu is like what? A fire fish? Blue flames as well? So I would say Wo-Chien I'd put in B. I like him, obviously not as much as the rest. Tinglu I'd put in A. And then the other two, Chin Pao and Chi-Yu I'd put in S. These two, obviously, can you guys tell the edgy one with the fucking saber-tooth thing would be the one I'd like the most, and the fire-looking fish? Could you tell those would be the ones I'd like the most? Crazy. They were just like, let's make a more like prehistoric-looking mega salamanders, and you know, I'm kind of here for it. And Iron Valiant, I know I said that the Violet designs tend to be kind of lamer compared to the Scarlet designs, which is generally true, but good lord, combining the elements of Gardevoir and elements of Gallade to like, I call it Galadevoir. It works perfectly. The name as well, they've cooked with the name for once. Iron Valiant, you know, perfect name for a Pokemon that looks like this. Fairy Fighting as well, relatively unique type combination. I don't even know if is there any other Pokemon that's Fairy Fighting? Not the one I can remember off the top of my head. It's the only Fairy Fighting type? And it's like, what Pokemon to make do you know how like Varoom was like the perfect Pokemon to make a Steel Poison type? A fusion of Gallade and Gardevoir was the perfect Pokemon to make a fighting Fairy type. And I think I'm going to put them both in my S+. I love both of these Pokemon. I'm going to be honest with you. As I mentioned, generally, Violet doesn't cook, but with Galadevoir, they cooked. They fucking cooked. And let me get on to the cover legendaries. Oh my god. Winged King and Dick Robot. Shut up. I think there's one thing that like Scarlet and Violet like made me realize is I don't know how they're going to make the Gen 10 legendaries. Okay, they could make the Gen 10 legendaries just as cool as Koraidon and Miraidon, but I think the fact that you hang out with one of these Pokemon for so long kind of makes you enamored with them by the time you reach the end of the game. Like, what? It's literally your method of transportation. So I think just by sheer volume of like being in its proximity, I think you are always going to like this Pokemon. And I'm like, how do they do the same thing in like future games so that like you become a bit more enamored with the legendary? And like, again, in such a goofy way as well. Like Arvin makes you a sandwich using like a rare herb, and he's just like, sandwich. So it's like, it has like goofy charm as long as it's like a really cool badass design. It's the Nebby effect from Gen 7. Yeah, exactly. You spend so much time with it, you can't help but love it. Exactly. And in the same way that there's no way that anyone who played Gen 7 didn't nickname their Solgaleo or Lunala Nebby for the sake of the story. I don't think you can see Koraidon and Miraidon and not just like have a little bit of a soft spot for them, even if you don't like them particularly. I think like the fact that you end up hanging out with them for so long, and then like you go into like Area 0 and you find the Alpha variant, his older brother that you hate so much, and then one of the ending battles ends up being you fighting the older brother variant, and funny sibling rivalry is so cool. I love both of these Pokemon. Now, of course, gamers, I did get Scarlet and not Violet, so one is going to go into their S+, while the other one merely sits in S. But I do like Koraidon's design way more. I do think Koraidon just looks way better than Miraidon. But obviously, I did play Scarlet, not Violet, so there you have it. Ooh, the DLC Paradox of Pokemon. Iron Leaves, Walking Wake. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The moment I saw Walking Wake, I'm just like, this shit's funny, man. I love that there's a lot of people that said that the legendary beasts having like past forms kind of breaks the law of like Ho-Oh reviving the legendary beasts and bringing them into existence. But to which I say, you're not wrong. But Walking Wake is just also really, really, really funny. In the nicest way possible. It's like a kid drew Suicune, but it was like, make it more edgier. In the most charming way possible. Water Dragon, again, a cool type combination. I think Palkia has that. A few others might have that too. Because you guys know how like Paradox past forms rely on the sun to get their photosynthesis boost? So having a water type might like kind of be a bit like, might conflict with that. But no, the user blasts to target boiling hot water. This move's power is not lowered in harsh sunlight, but rather boosted. Genius. Absolutely. You have a water type move that not only maintains its power and harsh sunlight, gets even stronger. Brilliant exclusive move to have. Very thematically on point. And I love Walking Wake. It's such a it has the cool factor of a legendary like a late game legendary-ish Pokemon with the goober factor that Gen 9 is known for, and I'm a big fan. Iron Leaves, on the other hand, is the epitome of future Paradox forms just kind of suck. It's like Verizon, but you just made it like Mecha. I don't care. But you know who I do care about? And also in Kitakami, we were made to see some more Pokemon chat, some lovely new Pokemon. One of them was an evolution of Atplane called Diplin, this silly little goober. I also love the fact that the way people found out that this was going to get an evolved form in DLC 2 was the fact that Eviolite still worked on Dipplin. This weird little Gen 8 Pokemon having 3 different Evo lines is honestly insane to me, and I'm here for it. I like it. I champion giving random Pokemon more evolutionary lines. I'm the absolute champ. If next gen they were like, hey, let's just give Slowbro like 2 more evolutionary lines. We've got Slowbro, Slow King, Slow Man, and Slow Baby. Make it happen. I like it when Pokemon does the funny. But do you know what's also funny? Was it a convergent version of Sinistea called a Poltergeist? And then it evolves into a 5 fucking... Is Sinister one of the best Pokemon ever made? Shiny form sucks, I'll give you that. Grass Ghost, again, a really fun type. I love Grass Ghost as a type combination. It has a little hat as well, little arm sticking out. His animation when you use his exclusive move, Matcha Gotcha, fires a blast of tea that is mixed. The user HP is restored to half the damage taken by the target. Also may leave them with a burn. It also attacks both opponents in a double battle as well. Amazing. I love Matcha Gotcha, such a fun exclusive move to have as well. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm telling you the names. Listen, if Gen 9 did something right, the names of moves, the names of Pokemon, a lot of the time for every iron bundle, which is like strange, they made like 50 good ones. So they know what they're doing when it comes to names, trust me. They didn't upgrade in the animation department, but they upgraded in the naming department. And then we get on to the Loyal 3. What do you guys think of the Loyal 3? I've heard some people say they're not big fans. And then we got Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pheasantdipity. Can we just like take some common English words / sayings and just mix them up for names? Monkey Dory is like my favorite one, naming wise and design wise. He's just like a little monkey. He's got like so if you guys don't know, the chain that they have is like a reference to the trio leader. So all of them have a toxic chain around them somewhere that gives them all their powers. Okidogi is probably like my least favorite of the 3, but I think he still looks all right. I think he still looks solid. Oh, I think he looks solid. I'll give him a B. I'll give Okidogi a B. Pheasantdipity. I don't like that this is... I think there's a poison fairy instead of a poison flying. I would have really liked it if it was a poison flying. Also, just, yeah, to mention their abilities, Toxic Chain as well. Anytime this Pokemon uses a move, it has a chance to badly poison, which is really funny. Pheasantdipity? I like Pheasantdipity a lot. I'll give him an A. I'll give it Pheasantdipity an A. Monkey Dory is my goat. I love Monkey Dory. I love the name. I love the pun on Hunky Dory, which is the phrase. I don't think before this DLC, I don't think I heard anyone use the phrase Hunky Dory to describe them doing well in like 50 years. I don't think that phrase has ever been used. So the fact that you can use like the fact that you can nasty plot Psychic into a badly poison, I'm here for every minute of it. The second DLC, I made like a new team, and I think Monkey Dory was part of it. I made sure I had a Monkey Dory. I'm a big fan. So then we get on to the enemy of the Loyal 3, Ogerpon. Ogerpon's a little cute. Ogerpon's a little cute. I love Ogerpon so much. And then, of course, you have it in its various masks. You have it in its teal mask, the name of the DLC. Each mask has a different ability as well. It becomes Super Ogerpon. It's the perfect combination of a Gen 9 goober energy. Because look at this cute little... Just look at him. Look into his eyes, guys. Look into his eyes and tell him that... Tell her. Because another Pokemon that's woman only. We love women. Look at this Pokemon and tell her you're going to keep her in the box forever. No, you're taking it out of the box and you're going to use it in your party. I think all of them are S+, guys. I think all of them are S+. I'll just leave the other ones alone because I'm just lazy. I love women and I love Ogerpon as well. So the DLC was just men trying to take credit for a woman's work, and we fixed that error. We love women. Women have it tough, guys. Buy the DLC now to help Ogerpon solve the glass ceiling. Archaladon. It's a Pokemon that was already built like a tower, and now it's just built like a bridge. Whenever you use its exclusive move, Electro Shots, it turns into a bridge. PewDiePie, make sure you're not watching this. Its exclusive move is not Stab, but it gains electricity on the first turn, boosting its special attack, and it fires a high voltage shot on the next turn. But, and I really like this as well, it's shot immediately in range. So if you have Rain Up, this is a 1-turn move, which I love. I absolutely love this. Because I think a lot of 2-turn charging moves tend to be quite lame because you're already telegraphing to the opponent what you're going to do. But in Rain, hey, they got no time to prepare. You just blast them and get a free special attack boost while you're at it to make your next electric shot even stronger. And again, you got the baller type combination of Steel Dragon. Love that type combination. You got a fantastic ability in stamina. I had one of my DLC 2 team as well, of course. Once I found out about Archaladin, I made sure to get my own one. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this Pokemon. I think I've always said Pokemon have to be either like cute, cool, or just look really stupid. And I think Archaladin just looks really fucking stupid. He's a bridge. They made a tower evolve into a bridge. That's just really stupid to me that it wraps around to being really, really, really funny. And he's S. He's easily S. Not S plus though. He's not one of the goats that ever goated, but definitely S. He looks like a staple remover. A little bit. He looks like something, goddamn. He looks like something, alright. Hydra. Oh, how did I miss Hydrapple as well? And they confirmed that Dipplin was 2 dragons in 1 apple. So now when you evolve to Hydrapple, it ends up being multiple dragons in 1 apple. It's fantastic. And then I think it's what's it? It's move as well. Fickle Beam. I love this. It's an 80 power, 100 accuracy dragon type move. It shoots a beam of light, but sometimes, just every now and again, the other heads are like, do you know what? I'm going to work too. And it'll just double the move. So I think it's what, 30% chance? So you got a 30% chance for the move to just do double damage just for no reason. And the name really sums it up. It's definitely fickle indeed. And I love this Pokemon. I used one in my team as well. A bit slow. Again, it's really, really slow. So I had to use Trick Room to really make sure this one didn't just get one shot by any ice type move that all the high AI DLC trainers would end up using on me. But it was a really fun Pokemon to use, and I love Hydrapple. I love that also Kieran in the DLC like has a Dipplin, and in the final he has a Hydrapple, which he uses to terrestrialize to a different type to get rid of its double ice weakness. I think in its role in the story, in the DLC story, Hydrapple is fantastic. And as a Pokemon in its own right, I adore it. I wouldn't put it in my S plus, but definitely S. Definitely S. It's not one of the goats that ever goated, but it's definitely a goat. Oh, so now we're gonna get onto the other paradoxes. Ooh. This is a simple case of the past ones are really stupid and really funny, and the future ones are just mechanical and boring. So let's just speedrun this and you guys can join him over there. Actually, I like Terrakian's one a bit better, so I'll move him to B because I think he just has like a bit more about him. And his move Mighty Cleave is kind of funny. But yeah, this one you can stay. You two could stay up there. It's like Entei with like a giant shield on his head, and that's just really funny. And then it's like Raikou, but like it's just long. He's just long for like no reason. Why is he like this? Why were you made this way? But then at the end of DLC 2, who else do you bump into, gamers? But the most. I feel sorry for Terapicus because he looks like a cute. He has the goober energy, doesn't he, chat? Look, he's a goober. Look at him. He's a cheeky little gooberino. I like it. But yeah, the DLC didn't really do him well, to be honest. He becomes a super turtle in battle. They invented a whole new Terra type, but that Terra type ends up being kind of yeah. So even as a legendary, the story didn't do you well, and even as a unique form that's exclusive to you, I didn't really find it that interesting, if I'm being honest. So you're okay, but what's it? The Scarlet book like really built up the lore to this Pokemon to be like really cool, and then in the DLC they were just kind of like just kind of lame. But once we got across Terapicus, then we get into the other oh, Petron. Okay, we're just gonna go up here. Is that cool? Is that cool? Is that cool? So I know some of you guys haven't played the Scarlet Violet DLC. In 1 minute, I'm going to convince you that Petron is the coolest Pokemon ever. This whole Pokemon's deal is that like it fires like mochi, and then if you take a bite out of that mochi, you end up being possessed. And then like the DLC builds this up as, oh, something haunting is going to happen. You're like, oh shit, what's going to happen? And then mochi. What the? What the fuck? It possesses every person in the village to just do the fucking chicken dance. And if that isn't the funniest shit you've seen today, I don't know what you're gonna see, honestly. And when I say everyone in the village, everyone ends up doing the chicken dance and saying mochi mochi. It's like, what the hell is going on? This is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, the funniest, best DLC Pokemon has ever made, and it instantly made me fall in love with Pecharunt, because having to battle every single person that just got turned into, it's like a zombie apocalypse, but Pokemon version. Oh, you need, guys, I'm telling you, you need to play Scarlet Violet DLC. It's so fucking funny. I love this game. Now when I say Scarlet Violet are the best games ever, I hope I've convinced you otherwise. And as Bacon has mentioned multiple times, he really wants me to say that. 88, he's got 88 in all stats except defense. 88 being the funny number, 88 being the evil number. Pokemon poisoned by Pecharunt's moves will also become confused. That's just evil. A poisoning keeps building up while you're just hitting yourself in confusion. What an evil ability. I think this got banned in like OU of Smogon battling because it was just too chicanerous. And I'm here for it, okay? I'm entirely here for it. Honestly, Game Freak, please. If you're gonna make more mythical Pokemon, give them really cool backstories. They don't have to be like as funny as Pecharunt or as comedically inclined, although I think you definitely should. But please give them stories. I never want to go back to the era of just getting a legendary Pokemon from a mailman. I don't want you ever to, you have no excuses now, because when you have a DLC that's free and as charming as this, where you get a Pokemon that turns everyone into a fucking zombie, a chicken dancing zombie, I can't help but think it's one of the best things ever made, and as a result, it's one of the good ones. It's one of the Gen 9 good ones. Once you do DLC 1, and you at least capture 150 out of the 200 Pokemon in the Kitakami Pokedex, Perrin ends up sending you on a really weird quest. You help her find a Pokemon she's been hunting for a while. And everyone in the chat is saying Freddy Fazbear, but it's, okay, it kind of looks like Freddy Fazbear, I'll give you but it's Blood Moon form of Ursaluna. So I think, just one Ursaluna ended up swimming away from Hisui, and they're getting lost in Paldea somewhere. I think that's the lore on this. If Gen 9 proved anything to us, it's when Game Freak put some effort in, they can make easily one of the best Pokemon games ever. Because again, when I caught 150 Pokemon in the Kitakami Pokedex and went to talk to Perrin, I thought, oh, she's just going to give me an item. And I think that's kind of what she did in DLC 2. She just kind of gives you something, I think. But in this one, you end up going on you end up proving your worth to go on a quest with her to like hunt for a Pokemon. And then after all that build up, it ends up being Ursaluna, Blood Moon. Such a good idea for another form, such a good build-up in the story, and I love it. And its ability is fucking insane. Mind's Eye. This Pokemon ignores changes to the Pokemon's evasiveness. Okay. Its accuracy cannot be lowered. Okay. And then on top of that, like, oh, Scrappy. Let's just give it Scrappy for free as well. Blood Moon Ursaluna just learns a move called Blood Space Moon. 140 power, 100 accuracy, specially inclined. The user unleashes his full brunt of his spirit of his full moon that shines as red as blood. Can't be used twice in a row. So it's a bit like a Gigaton Hammer, one of those moves. He's going to be the final addition into one of the good ones. So there you have it, guys. There is my ranking for all Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Overall, as a final note, I will say that Gen 9, they cooked. Look how many Pokemon are like in at least B or higher. Like, how many Pokemon are like, there's very few Pokemon down here, you know what I mean? And that just goes to show you that like Gen 9 really did cook with a lot of its Pokemon designs. They are either cool, they were either cute, or they were just really stupid, or edgy, and I love a bit of edge. I love a bit of edge. We certainly do love a bit of edge, don't we, gamers? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already given it a like already, be sure to do so on your way out. And as always, before we go, a big thank you to all the members, the knights you can see in the description, and the members of the Royal Guard, and the one wizard at the moment, Jerry. Thanks for that, Jerry. Appreciate that. There's plenty of content where that came from, gamers. I don't have a lot of Pokemon stuff yet, but I have a couple that might tickle your fancy, so be sure to give another one a click, and until next time, there's your long.